Hi, I'm Julie, and I just wanted to talk to you about the Roberta spinning wheel. Today's video is basically about just unpacking your video when you get it, unpacking it and putting it together. So, as you see here in front of me, I have my Roberta. This is sort of how it comes once you take all the packing off it. Doesn't have any bobbins on it when you take it out of the box. So basically you just have this beautiful little machine. As you see, mine's not quite as clean as a brand new one that you'd take out of the box, but it's alright. For what I need to show you today, that's good. Now, we won't go too long today, but what I'll do is I'll show you. First we'll start off with the back. At the back you'll see you've got your power cord, which of course is totally attached to your machine. Now this one is actually a dual spinner. So I also on here have my controller, which actually I use with a battery pack that I purchased separately on eBay. I've actually had this one for a couple of years. It's just about time to replace it now because I used to be able to get a couple of days spinning out of it, and now I'm probably getting only a few hours. So, and I think I bought this 4 years ago, so pretty good. There's all different varieties of them you can get. Now, the other thing we have here is, attached here I have a pause controller. Whoops, I'll just get that out. Now, I'll just bring that up from down here. Now, that's your pause controller. Basically looks like a sewing machine foot pedal. The only difference is, on a sewing machine foot pedal, you push it down to start. With the pause controller, when you're spinning, if you just need to stop, I find it fantastic. It's not necessary, but I spin a lot of raw fleece, and I just find sometimes you might get a little grass seed, or sometimes there's just a little bit of short piece of wool or that, and I find just quick foot on there, rip the seed out, or straighten a little bit of yarn, and then off I go again. Just saves me turning it on and off. I'll just pop that back down on the floor. Now, as I said, the pause controller is an optional extra. You don't necessarily have to have that if you don't want. The wheel spins fine without it. As I said, I just find it convenient. On the front of the machine, we'll just turn that around here. Now this is only 4.5 kilos, so it is so easy to move around from place to place. As you see, I was actually going to do this film outside today, but the days sort of disappeared, so I've ended up, I'm in the lounge room, and I actually have this sitting on a chair in the lounge room, and I'm just sitting on my lounge chair, so, which is one of the things I love. It's just, you can spin anywhere. Now here, the front, so simple. Have an on-off button. You have your speed dial, which usually sits about 9 o'clock. Of course, as you get faster, you can turn it up as quick as you want. When you're plying, you can turn it up as fast as you want. Now, your speed dial is really only the rotations of your flyer, and that just adds the twist. Oh, and before, the other switch, forward and backwards. How simple is that? Okay, so when you unpack your spinner, you've got this little wooden box like this, and I'll just adjust this down so you can see it a little bit better. So beautifully lacquered. Now, it comes with a flyer. The modern ones now come with a jumbo flyer. They used to all come with a small flyer. If you've got an older machine, you can get it converted to take the jumbo flyer. So it's up to you. And I usually recommend the combo, which is what I have here. So I have my flyer, which I'll just pop there for a moment. Whoops. I have my jumbo bobbin, and then I have 2 regular bobbins, which, as you can see, have a little bit of wool on at the moment. Now, you can actually buy the spinner with 3 regular bobbins. I just usually recommend the combo because you have 2 regular and 1 jumbo. 2 regular bobbins virtually will fill the jumbo one when you're plying. So to me it's great. And of course there's always extra bobbins available. So what I'm going to do, I will actually go ahead and sort of just set this up quickly. Now I also should have a band, which I've lost somewhere. Oh, the other thing, you've got your hook, which just actually fits on the side there. It actually has a little space that it fits. Aha! Here we go. I must have knocked it down when I picked it up. Now, the flyer, really easy to go on. This just goes, well actually what we'll do, one of the things that is important, especially when you start off, is a little bit of oil. This helps to break your bobbins in. Now, I did find after doing this for a while, that after a while I didn't have to put as much oil on at all. And even then, you don't need much. I'll sit that back there for a moment. Now, oil, you don't need to buy specialty oil. I actually have, and I don't know if I should be, maybe I should cover that. It's just motor car engine oil. That's all you need. It's a nice thick oil. It doesn't have to be any brand or anything. Go, just buy a small bottle. So that is going to last me, I don't know how many years. So, and all I do is I just fill up a little bottle and I just have, whoops, now I'm slopping it everywhere. I've actually just filled it up. So, okay, we'll just wipe that off. There we go, I've got a bit of tissue here and I'll just wipe that little bit off. I forgot, because I didn't have very much oil left in there, so I sort of filled it up before I came on. Now all you need to do is, and I'll just be really careful now that the bottle's so full, just 1 or 2 drops on your flyer, just like this, 1, 2, and that is usually plenty. And then we'll just pop this on. Now this is just the jumbo one. Now with this is actually flexible, so it will bend. It doesn't mean that you've got to force it all the way down. I'm sure it would break in the end. Now I've got a bit of oil on my hands and I don't actually want that on the belt. The belt goes there. Now we just slip that over there and we pop that down. Now the other thing I will mention is Vaseline. When you get your wheel and you take it out, or petroleum jelly I think the other name is, just every now and then, a little bit of petroleum jelly on the finger and just pop it on the back bit there, just a little dob or a dollop, whatever you'd like to call it. Right, now all I need to do is with this, I just bring that up and roll it over onto that groove in the back of the bobbin. Of course, I probably should have been more specific. The larger bobbin has a small groove. Your regular bobbins have this groove. The other end's just normal round on both of them. Right, that just goes over there. Now you attach a leader, tie a leader on there for your spinning. Now, with the jumbo bobbin and the jumbo flyer, you can't really spin with the other bobbins on here because it will hit. This just lifts up, okay? Might be a bit stiff when you first open it, and then you just put your bobbins on. They don't have to go on anyway. Look, you can put one that way and one that way. There's no specific way it needs to go on, and they just sit up, right? The other thing we have is your Irish brake, which is probably a little bit confusing. So it's basically like a fishing line, and I probably should have wiped mine. Mine's a little bit greasy at the moment. Now that just goes up through the groove. Now, depending on your bobbin, I have actually had this over twice, but I find it very hard to hook. I think that's just me. But as I said, there's a little groove in the flyer just here, right? So it just goes up and over. Now, I actually don't do a lot with that. It's a specific Irish brake. Right, now, there's a knob at the front here that's attached to. All you need to do is turn that to tighten it up. Alright, that's basically how your wheel goes together. Now, I will try and do a few more videos. We'll see how we go. I'm usually one to avoid the camera, so I don't mind my head being cut off in this camera. So, but anyway. But look, if you have any questions, you want to know anything about it, please ask. When I first got my Roberta, do you know, I hardly used it. I used it once or twice, then I put it away. And then I kept going back to my treadle wheel, which I've had for 30 years. And it's a wind wheel, so it's really lovely and easy. And although it is starting to wear out. And then I was spinning on the wind wheel and plying on this. And then came a day when I didn't have a spare bobbin for the wind wheel. So I thought, okay, I'll have to spin on this. And to be honest, I sat there spinning and it was so easy. And I just thought to myself, why haven't I been using this more? You know, it's a little bit different to a treadle machine. But I must admit, I love my Roberta these days. But any questions, write them down below and we'll see what I'll do, whatever I can to answer them. Thanks. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.